Good evening, everyone. Daniel Miller here. How are you guys doing? Hope you had a good day. Hope you had really very enjoyable time at the beginning of your week, either at college, at work, or wherever you were. And by now are settling down at the front of your TV, next to your PS4, or indeed perhaps next to your PC or Xbox One, and then pursuing one of your favorite games at the moment. Well, there are lots of interesting games out there at the moment. Metro is certainly one of those. I've been looking at some of the clips and hearing some of the feedback. Very, very good indeed. It is the first incursion of the Metro team into the open world arena. And the open world, which I've seen on the trailers, looks very much like Fallout. And, it is the post-apocalyptic terrain out there. Lots of corners to explore. Visually very beautiful, greatly atmospheric. I can't wait to get my hands on the game, to be honest with you. I'm just waiting for the right moment. The other big game obviously is Anthem. We've been all eagerly waiting for that game to be released. It has been released on Friday, but still the BioWare team are working 24/7 in order to resolve all of those issues. I'm waiting for them indeed to be resolved so that we can start with our Anthem streams here. Explained several times my intention was to be streaming already on the 22nd, but the trouble I had was very simple. Throughout the initial stages of the game you have to be restarting it, which means it's breaking up your broadcast, and I do not like doing that because the broadcasts are monitored by various stats engines on Twitch and elsewhere. What we want is to have a continuous enjoyable period of either gaming or viewing, particularly when you're playing the game for the first time. You do not want to be disturbed by, plagued by many technical issues. I've done the demo on 2 weekends in a trot, basically the VIP and open demos. There are lots of technical issues, so I hope that by the time the game was released those would have been more or less resolved, but unfortunately that was not the case. Some of those were persisting, and indeed a few of those are persisting if you're doing the streams as well. So really, no hurry, no rush. I really wanted to be one of the first few to be streaming the game, but then I basically decided not to be one of those, and that's also to do with the volume of the game, as well as its kind of longevity, its long-term playability. We are not going to be late if we start a week or two later. We are just going to have a lot more fun by not needing to be restarting game and having that dreaded infinite loading screen coming up many times, and indeed maybe if not infinite, but certainly a very, very long time loading screen. Getting it for I've seen some postings on Twitter coming my way. People said, well, it's very, very enjoyable, but this is really slowing down our game time and everything that we were trying to explore initially, both at Fort Tarsus and elsewhere. And like with any big game, like with Destiny at the beginning, there are lots of issues, so we just simply have to be patient and wait. The third big game to come out, or the game that will be coming out halfway through March, is Ubisoft's The Division 2, and the private beta was conducted, I think, week before last, and we are going to be able to access open beta during this weekend. So I'm very seriously considering whether to stream that open beta as well. I absolutely love The Division and really look forward to The Division 2. It is a tactical game, tactical shooter, aligned with the other games of the same sort, most notably Rainbow Six Siege, and we have presently Anthem coming out also with a tactical team of 4, although obviously it's a very different sort of game. But I think Rainbow Six Siege probably the closest as a tactical shooter compared to the Division 2 in fact, and really look forward to seeing the beta test and what the game's going to look like. Lots of good feedback coming out of the VIP demo which they run recently, and we've seen some very exciting gameplay premiered during the E3 events, so a lot to look forward to. So it is likely that this weekend I'll be streaming it. I will obviously let you know on Twitter for certain, and obviously I'll be waiting for the game to come out in March as well. Really hotly anticipated, and the hardcore dedicated to the Division 1 fans are simply you know, waiting for that day to rise or to arrive. What we are going to do is simply carry on with our destiny and with our Titan human male. Yesterday we've had quite a selection of interesting missions. We had completed several strikes, and well, 2 strikes in fact, one to begin with and the other to end the broadcast with, and both were quite difficult, but I was fortunate to have some really good community members coming in and joining, helping me out, and therefore we were able to destroy the enemy. The last strike was with those brothers, I can't remember what they're called now, the 2 massive beasts that were attacking us from, you know, various ends, and it did last a little while. But neither myself nor my community member died during the mission, which was quite good, considering I've done it several times as a Nightfall strike and I suffered many deaths. But needless to say, when doing it, you know, on the Nightfall strike level, then it's a lot harder, and there are many more enemies and they're harder to kill. So no wonder, really. And tonight we're going to be continuing with our Titan, and we'll carry on with our mission. So let's see what lies ahead, shall we? And proceed. So it's Titan human male, played by DRBMiller. If anybody is playing Anthem, then please let us know what your experience is so far. I've had several of our Destiny veterans coming in and expressing gratitude for introducing the game to them, as well as doing the streams of the demo. They all purchased, well, several purchased the game, pre-ordered it, and started playing it on Friday. They did indicate there were quite a few technical issues, but they loved the game so far, and they're highly recommending it to everyone. So I'd really like to hear, you know, some constructive feedback coming in from everyone already immersed, and I want to hear, first and foremost, your thoughts on the actual gameplay, and then I want to hear more on the technical issues, because once you tell me that you're experiencing none on PlayStation, then that is the day when I'm going to be starting with my streams of Anthem here as well. So we have, as I could see, some upgrades in here for Sunbreaker, Thermite Grenade, and we have here Fusion Grenade. Okay, we'll leave that Thermite Grenade, and Incendiary Grenade as well, which is not currently accessible. So we have plenty of stuff in here. T48 is not needed. Then we have 1 engram in here. 385, 385, we don't need it either. 220, 381, okay, so that's really quite outdated, but we may be able to infuse, we'll have to see. Yeah, maybe, we'll see, we'll keep it on. We have a brand new Titan artifact, which I acquired yesterday, Caver's Pocket Watch, so I'm quite happy about that. And in here we've got an older version of that ghost shell, which is not needed. This machine gun as well is not really needed, but I may need it for infusion, so I'll just leave it in there for a moment. This one we definitely do not want, 200, and you may want to leave some weapons in the vault as well, so I think the best thing to do is simply to go back to the tower, do a bit of admin without clearing up, and then looking at other missions. I believe we had completed the Taken King DLC, and therefore we will carry on with the rest, but there may be still some missions in there which we are asked to do, which are either connected to the Taken King or what lies before us, and if not, Rise of Iron will be the next stop. How's everyone doing? Guys enjoying Microsoft's Game Pass, or perhaps PlayStation's PlayStation Now services? Anyone's been there? I certainly am. Metro is the one that I'm currently looking at through PS Now service, and that's the Metro Redux versions. As I said, we are going to be having a regular review of PlayStation UK magazine as well, and all the novelties happening on PS, so bear with us. I still haven't scheduled the first session, but it is coming away. I'm studying some of the latest issues, and we are going to be looking at every single bit exposed in there. What better way to look at that than simply by discussing it live and looking at several sections. The two major games which are talked about in the most current issue of PlayStation UK magazine are Metro, the latest one, and also Anthem. And there are some reports on the games which are to come on PlayStation as well. For anyone who is perhaps wondering whether £6 should be spent on the magazine every month, I can just tell you, if you do not want to do that, join one of your local libraries if you're in the UK, and you will get it also on your downloadable section, which means it is available through the magazines section in the UK, and then you can download it from the apps and then read it at will, and you will have no cost attached to it at all. The only difference is, if you are to be reading it online and downloading it, you will not be getting all the goodies which, you know, PlayStation team are providing you with every month, because you get some posters, you get some coasters, and, you know, all sorts of bits and pieces which are very collectible. That is not included in that, so just barely the magazine. But the magazine as it is, in its digital format, with many links which you can also access, and with many recommendations, it is a very, very good guide, in the same way as the Xbox magazine is. If you are a true console fan, then you really should be reading those every month. They provide you with a wealth of information, and they can be used as very good pointers on what to do next on those consoles. Also, board games to revisit. You know, have really good sort of lists and rankings for all of those which already have been in circulation for a while.
If you had a name.
Good afternoon, my friend. We've got another automatic weapon, I think this is.
It should be me.
Back to Master
What do
Rahul.
we have here? Looks like you paid for it in blood.
Indeed I have, sir. Thank you so kindly for your reward.
Yours.
So we acquired 200 Glimmer for Master Rahul for bringing in all these interesting items. He does that every single time when we complete difficult battles.
There
And
it will.
he basically decoded Visigoth Type 1, and I think that is likely to be again, well, it's 385, we have 391, so quite frankly no space for that here. And what we do need to do is we need to revisit our vault, and let me see. Okay, so that's pretty good. We do need to put some weapons away, because our... Oops, yeah, okay, that's quite good. We have some spares in here, so let's see. An answering chord, done and doubt. Treads upon stars. Actually, I can try the Stranger's Rifle, the Jade Rabbit. Saros. Right, Saros I don't really want. Okay, so Saros I'll dismantle. Anton's Rule, Havoc, Pigeon. Wait a minute. Event Horizon. Okay, this one we also don't want. That Sniper Rifle, I'll just come in. Okay, Vestian Dynasty, we can store. Okay. And then we can store... Jabberhacky Assassin. Yeah, they're identical. Magazine 4, Magazine 3. Okay, we'll put this one away then. So we have then Sidearm, Anton's Rule, Havoc Pigeon, I can't put away this one. And then we have Sniper Rifle, Sidearm, Shotgun. Okay, so that's all good. In here, Choleric Dragon, Disassembly required. Choleric Dragon I'll put in. And the other ones we can get rid of. And then here we have Hesperus type. Okay, we'll put this away. This one away. I don't really need that one, we can redestroy it. And then this one we'll put away, this one we'll put away, this one we'll put away. And maybe not. Okay, so that's all done and dusted. I'm happy with that. And indeed I can just get rid of some spares which already indicate, like for instance the Saurus we don't want. And we also don't want the sniper. And we don't want, let's see, 390, this rocket launcher we don't want. This rocket launcher we don't want. This one I'll keep for infusion. Yeah, this one we don't want. So that looks leaner and cleaner. And here I said this one I'll get rid of. Got some legendary marks for it. And that's about it. So that's all done and dusted. So for anybody watching who's just sort of considering whether to try Destiny, the way to do this is always to keep your best items which you're not using in the vault. And don't forget the vault is accessible by all three characters. So once you're building your Warlock, Hunter and Titan, whatever you have in the vault can be used by any of those. And what's important is if you start a new character to increase his levels, because some of the weapons are not accessible if you are below certain levels, usually between below levels of 38 to 40. It's very important you really keep what you need in the vault, and that is both weapons and the rest of the kit, right? So it can be always adjusting this. It's important to have free space on you. What you're carrying is not going to make you heavier, so you'll be always moving at the same speed. But basically you'll be collecting new weapons, and sometimes the new weapons and the new kit will be bringing you rewards by increasing your light power, right? Or your light points, and therefore you'll be more powerful. The idea is to get to level 40 and also to 400 light. For me on my Titan it's been very easy to get to 390, but it's been a long grind ever since. So Ares wants to speak to us, but I think first of all I'll double check and see what I need to do in order to complete. Okay, so that is talking to... Okay, so that's in Crucible as well. Fine. So what we have here is several bounties. I completed them yesterday. So Dreadnought Reconnaissance has been completed. Web Sport and 1 Might of Flight plus Reputation. This is what I got. Defeat 50 Cabal Armor Breaker. Reputation is up, and then I have Sunbreak Challenge, 30 kills with survivability. Reputation is up. Okay, so as you can see, I've got reputation of 2, Cryptoarchaeology, Vanguard reputation 2, New Monarchy reputation 1, Courteous Bane 1, House of Judgment 0. I've not done any of those missions in there, in the Prison of Elders. And then we have Queen's Wrath reputation 0 and Gunsmith reputation 0. Okay, so first of all we are going to talk to Cade. Let's see what he says. We have completed one of his missions yesterday.
Relax. Now you'll need some better gear, Guardian.
Guardian, you did some good work up there. Normally this be the point where I slap you on the back and give you a gun, but I just had a pretty weird conversation. Arak Jalal, the Dead Orbit rep for the tower, he said he has more intel on the Skyburners. Better get over there.
Just between you and me, this is why you're my favorite.
So I need to speak to Arak Jalal, but it looks to me the Taken War is carrying on in here. And follow rumors of a Taken Coven to the Cosmodrome. Complete mission, Blighted Coven. Oryx is dead, but we still have Taken all across the Cosmodrome. I aim to fix that. There's a coven of blighted hive wizards running the show over there. At least that is our best intel. Get in there, clean out the Taken, and give yourself a pat on the back in that order. Indeed, sir, I shall. I will follow your instructions. I will defeat the enemy. No enemy soldiers will be left standing. Fear God and honor the king.
Get in there, clean out the taken, and give yourself a pat on the back. In that order.
So
See you around.
this is our next mission. There's always plenty to do in Destiny, as you could see. A lot of people say this is a game which is never ending. Well, sometimes it may feel like that. But I can certainly tell you these story missions are those which will end, and then you have strikes and raids. Look at those guys in here. Looks like they're not interested. Well, so what? Yeah, so Arak Jalal is the person we also need to speak to, and we forgot. And there we are, he is always in there. Dead orbit rep. He's faster than me. I can't really compete with him by the looks of it. This is Arak Jalal.
Will you fight for us, Titan?
Good evening, sir.
What do you need from us?
Always a pleasure, Guardian. I'll get right to the point. I'm coordinating a joint operation between Dead Orbit and the Tower. Commander Zavala and I have been using the fleet to run system-level sweeps and the intermissions. And we found something. The Cabal on the Dreadnought are blasting a signal out into the deep space. They're trying to talk to someone, and we need them silenced.
Thank you.
The Legion's beachhead. So that's a second mission which we've been given. Supported orbit. This system is lost, Guardian, but we are not. Every star is a beacon of hope, of escape, of new life for all of us. The Traveler gave everything to save us from the darkness. We honor its sacrifice by making sure we thrive far away from this dead world. Well, you know that we've been the members of that New War cult, and we've been the members of that cult really for a few months. So in this instance, we are being asked to try another allegiance. And I think for the fun of it all, we are going to be on our Titan trying all the allegiances that are offered. We may be able to get maybe a new achievement in some of the books which we are completing. We may get some rewards, we'll have to see. Principally, I worked out that changing allegiances even once a week is not something which is going to work to the detriment of either my character or the story missions. It's basically all the allegiances that are still fighting the same enemy, so it's not like I'm stabbing somebody in the back, and they're all aligned to the monarchy, which obviously we are representing. So there we are, and we are going to, in this instance, forget about the New War Cult allegiance and rejoin this faction, which is called Dead Orbit. So this badge will identify you as a supporter and ally of Dead Orbit. Supporters gain Dead Orbit reputation whenever they earn Vanguard or Crucible reputation, and they may purchase this faction's gear. You can only hold one allegiance at a time, and can only change allegiances once per week. So there we are acquiring this allegiance. Acquired.
You know we're right.
So when you go to your inventory, you'll be able to find the details in here. See, this one has expired. Okay, so a calcified fragment, and we have here the badge identifying us as the member, supporter and ally of Dead Orbit. Alright, so I think considering that I have 239 of that motor flight, so I will use 10 of those. 2. There we are. So now we're going to have a look at our inventory. whether we gained any extras. We indeed did. Forge Master. Increased height. Why is it not allowing me to do that? Don't know. There must be a reason somewhere. Army of 1. So that's very good. We have extended mag, explosive rounds, and injection mold. I quite like the extended mag, it really helps. And army of 1. So quick unassisted kills with this weapon, reduced grenade and melee cooldown. So that's all very good. Kinetic damage we don't get. Superb target acquisition, that's obviously the one we want. Okay, so that's all sorted. Long far gone. We have lightweight. What's this? Yeah, so that's very important. This perk, this weapon deals bonus damage against Cabal Centurions. Very important. It's extra power that you're getting here. And then in here we also have as my health gets slower, the weapon gets more accurate. So we are going to be enabling that as well. So all the perks enabled, which is really good. I really have to say I love that long far gone fusion rifle. It's been very effective and very helpful in all missions. I've not been using fusion rifle almost at all with my Warlock and my Hunter, but on Titan it worked beautifully, and combined together with my hand cannon and the rocket launcher we just simply rocked. And this is the way it's going to carry on as well. So these perks are enabled. Let me see. Field Scout increases ammo capacity. The last result, this weapon handling was faster. It's quite good as it is, I think, at the moment. Smart drift control, so that's all good. Okay, he's got everything on his spin metal sensor we have. So basically the sensor will present us with the tracking on our radar system. So whenever we have spin metal anywhere, it will be tracked. Evil Seeds, so when you kill Fallen, then you generate additional glimmer. And increasing intellect, which means obviously you are going to be getting faster reload of my super. Right, so that's all very good. Exactly as it should be. We'll have a look at these perks in here. Why is that not being... Okay, increase intellect. There we are. So we've got increased intellect, which is obviously accelerating our recharge of super. Super energy and grenade kills, it's great, and gain bonus melee energy on all pickups, that's all very good. What's the other one here? Heavy lifting. Nah, it's not necessary. Then we have here Malor's Maulers. They're very, very good, these ones. So you can see they look awesome. In fact, we'll take a snapshot of that. I didn't take a photo of those before. Increase intellect. We'll then have, well, melee attack speed we do need. Oh, we need some worm sport. We don't have enough worm. Okay. Helium filaments. Automatic rifle. Sniper rifle. Okay, automatic rifle I've not been using that much. Oh, I love that coat of arms. It's beautiful. Look at that. Looks really awesome. Beautifully designed. And then we'll look at the boots. Void double down. Increased agility for 5 seconds after void double kill. Sniper rifle ammunition. Can carry more. Increased intellect as well. So that's very good. And then we have increasing discipline there. Automatic rifle focus and Vanguard champion. So we really need to beef up on extra materials in there. We are a bit slim on those. So you can see relic iron and all that. And then in here Wait a minute, there's another one. And then the last one here, we got some perks enabled, increase intellect, arc accumulator, increase strength. Okay. So that's all basically finished. This already we've looked at, that's been resolved. Okay. And then once you get the full experience in any of those, you get this sort of, like for instance in here, everything has been enabled, right? So you can see I've switched on some of the perks which I'm using, which have been full enabled. So all the perks are full, all the experience is completed. So that's very good. You can see in here we've got that yellow frame as well as here, which means we have completed everything. So that's all in order. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for all you offered. I shall be back after another battle. Fear God, honor the king. So we are ready for our next adventure. We've done everything that was to be completed here at the tower. Oh, there's lots of people in here. Looks like lots of people are playing Destiny tonight. That's very good. Very encouraging. Maybe people decided to come back after seeing Anthem. I don't know. Tonight, if you look at it here, it simply is astonishing. We have probably about 18 people in there, which is probably the busiest I've seen in a long mile. Hello, Nuke. Nuke 910 is here. Nuke says nice help. So you could see here, we can turn around as well. Very, very useful. Very effective in combat. Quite scary for the enemies as well. Looks a bit like Oryx. You know, when you could, we just neutralized Oryx in one of our last missions. And also what we do have here is this mask as well. So, you see this mask in there? It's really quite cool. It's sort of cosmetic, doesn't have any value, but just looks very funny. And we have some interesting kit in there. I welcome Nuke 910 to our community, and thank you for coming here and watching our broadcast. Indeed, we are going to be now continuing with our fierce adventures out there in the open, and we look forward to whatever is there. I can see that Nuke 910 is also our new follower on Twitch, and thank you so much for joining our community. I can certainly tell you, you'll find lots of our Destiny veterans coming here, having a peek, and then engaging with, you know, a few comments and views. We get the vast majority of the true hardcore Destiny veterans popping in from time to time, and it's always great to have them, as this channel has been pegged to Destiny 1. We've had already more than 100 streams of Destiny 1. I think tonight we are celebrating our 109 stream of Destiny 1. We had about 50 of Destiny 2 as well, and then a number of you know, streams of Apex Legends and Anthem that was demo, Elder Scrolls as well. But principally we had dedicated the mainstream activity here on the channel to Destiny. In the future we will have Destiny and Anthem as two of our backbone games here, but presently that's still Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. So I thank Nuke 910 for coming here and for joining our community, and welcome first and foremost, and really glad to see you here tonight. And I'm just looking at all the other messages. Thank you obviously to everyone who's been expressing love on Twitter and Instagram as always. I've not been posting much to Instagram during the last couple of weeks. I did actually stand corrected in there. I did post quite a lot of achievements from Apex, and these were just the initial achievements, but I did reach level 68 I think already, and there are quite a few other bits to be posted, so bear with me. They will all come on, and we are going to be also cracking on with Apex from time to time this week. I've had several of my teammates asking why is it I'm not playing Apex at the moment, but you know, Apex is very tiring if you're doing it on a long stretch, and I did break my own record really with streaming through Apex, 30 hours 45 minutes of a continuous stream. It's obviously the first one for me, and I was really surprised to discover that in one long stream I actually completed that many missions, and that I did not notice that the time just flew by, which is extraordinary. But it's all down to the game. Apex Legends is a very, very good game, and very exciting. It's a proper battle royale, and you have lots of interesting gamers out there. Some very good tactical teams migrating from Battlefield, from The Division, and from PUBG. So beware. Some really tough guys out there, and the teams that are winning are basically usually the teams of 3 that were imported from elsewhere, and indeed people who play together for quite some time. So if you think that Apex is just, you know, solo effort and doing something individually, make no mistake, you'll be killed straight away, and those teams will be after you, and they will be there at the end displaying some really formidable selection of tactics and experience and skill, which is usually particularly deadly to all those teams that are not displaying the same. So most highly recommended as a game. So for everyone watching, if you have not tried Apex, if you're on PlayStation or if you're on Xbox, absolutely do download it. It is for free, and you can be just grinding your way up, you know, to certain levels, and you can get extra kit, unlock new characters. It's a lot of fun, but don't do it by yourself. Always do it in a team. Get the other friends to come in and do it together. It's like Anthem, you know, you need to be playing it together as a team in order to get the best rewards, to have the best experience, and find out really, you know, the best aspects of the game. And don't go for any early kills. Don't go for, you know, your selection of early scores, because you will die early. And Apex is generating the experience points based on your survival minutes. So if you're having, let's say, 7 kills and you die within 2 minutes, you're not collecting many experience points, and you are indeed not leveling up. If you're surviving 20 minutes plus on average, then you're collecting lots of experience points and you're leveling up, and therefore unlocking characters and doing all of the nice things. So yeah, down to yourself really, whether you want to play stealth, whether you want to play aggressively, whether you want to collect scores, whether you know. But just from my own personal experience, after doing maybe 500 different games, you know, matches in that arena, I can tell you the teams that are winning are tactical teams. They have one person who is very forward and aggressive. They have one person who is a combination of stealth and you know, shooting abilities, and then the third one is just basically pure stealth, watching the back. And they're very well coordinated, and they really are deadly when met in that arena. So beware. Also, for anybody coming in, if you're not on fiber optic broadband, you will find that there are some problems with hit registration ratio, and several of my teammates and people who were there with me did experience this. It meant that certain people who were on faster service or in possession of the fastest fiber optic, they had their bullets register quicker, and therefore we were dying much faster, and that's grossly unfair, obviously, but that's the way the game operates at the moment. It does have a glitch. If you feel that you're being killed by one bullet, that's the reason for it. And strictly speaking, it's not as much to do with your ISP as it is to do with the servers that are sufficing all those different teams. Some people are on very fast service, the servers which are not overloaded, and therefore they are able to, you know, get better hit registration than the rest of us. And I have to say that our UK servers are particularly bad, and I played with several UK based teams and everyone complained quite a lot. There were veterans of games like Call of Duty Black Ops and Battlefield. They had very good you know, hit ratio elsewhere. They're very good and precise in aiming, but they did find that the bullets were not registering, and that was of a major bother. For instance, being very far away from some other team and they have a sniper, they take 2 pot shots and you're dead. Whilst for instance you're doing the same with your sniper, which is more mighty than theirs, and they're sustaining no damage whatsoever. So, you know, obviously technical glitches, but you know, it's a new game. It's been out for 2.5 weeks, and well, 3 weeks today, in fact, I beg your pardon. And certainly a game that you should definitely try. You will enjoy it probably more to what you would have done with PUBG or Fortnite, because it does have the social community element in there, which is very engaging, and lots of people already hooked up and created new teams, and there'll be competitions, there'll be many other things happening as from 1st of March, so now's the time to join, now's the time to try it out. Alright, so we've said everything about all of our news, all of our games, everything we have done, everything we are doing, everything which is going to be portrayed here on the channel. Just do remember, for the next weekend, The Division 2 open demo will be streamed in here, so it'll be very interesting, and I really look forward to that. But at the moment, we've looked at our homeland, we gathered our thoughts, we regenerated, we collected all thoughts that we could on loved ones or, you know, places close to our heart, and now we are proceeding with the next battle. 2 missions have been allocated. We'll do them one by one, nicely, slowly and successfully. So let's have a look what the first one is going to be. Yeah, so Advanced Signal was the first mission, and then the Taken War was another Blighted Coven. So for the benefit of our viewers, oh, I didn't collect my bounties, that's ridiculous. I do apologize, all that talk and I forgot about my bounties. I've got to collect them. It's very important that the bounties are always with you. Always remember to do that before you commence any mission. They're always giving you extra rewards, you collect extra points, you get extra bits, usually Might of Light and Strange Coin, and you are also then leveling up with your reputation. Your reputation is very important literally throughout the game, and as you are escalating it, you are getting also more strength and more dedication to certain factions. So it's important that you are paying attention to that as well. Just a bit annoyed with myself that I forgot about the bounties, but you know, nobody minds you going back to the tower. It's really a beautiful social hub for everyone to enjoy. And I've not tried the social hub in Anthem, but people say it was very good. So if anybody tried it, do let us know what the social hub in Anthem is, because it is not like in Destiny or, you know, in Mass Effect, where you simply land and the hub is there, like for instance what we got here. Look, this is quite extraordinary. It thinned out completely. We had about 18 or 20 people in here a moment ago. They've all gone to different missions.
I am instructed to tell you that all Guardians should continue to report information.
Checking for bounty.
So at the moment we are going to be collecting a few more bounties. So we need quick drops, precision kills, 30 super kills, and 50 fallen defeated. So that's all there is. Transaction indeed is complete, my friend. Fear God, honor the King. I'll be back after another hard battle. Right. So we are now ready to go to orbit, and we are expressly proceeding to those 3 missions which are ahead of us. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Always does. Is anyone subscribed to PS Now services? Are you guys enjoying the service as much as I am? I'm doing presently Red Dead Redemption 1 on it. Already gone through 50% of the game. It's a massive game. And then I have Metro, 2 games, Redux. And then we have Fallout as well. So it's Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Really top games as well. But we are going to be continuing with our Elder Scrolls streams as well very, very soon. I've had some messages coming saying what happened to Elder Scrolls. Well, Elder Scrolls is similar to Destiny in open world. You know, we have lots of different activities and places to explore. And principally, I kind of prefer playing one game, or I prefer streaming one game of that type, and then other adventure games which are like snappy and short. But you know, Elder Scrolls is awesome, and I've just read in PlayStation Magazine we are going to be having lots of new content introduced during the next few months. It's definitely worth having a look and checking. And you know, a vast game with lots of different characters, and very, very popular on Instagram and Twitter and other social networking forums. So a very, very good game to have, you know, to be played with other friends and, you know, in teams. Really, really, really good fun. And no, that's not it. Our destination is elsewhere. So we have the Advanced Signal, so we need to go to Dreadnought, board the Dreadnought, and put an end to Cabal Transmission to the Stars, complete mission Advanced Signal, right? So it's Dreadnought, and Dreadnought is here. So as you could see, there are 2 different missions. Still they're asking us for some patrols. In fact, we'll do a couple of patrols. You know what, we'll do a few patrols just to warm up, and then we'll do that mission. So, without further ado, action is coming our way more rapidly than what we expected. So get ready for some incredible firefights, lots of nasty enemies, and some magnificent victories. As you could see, I'm having this new message displayed, which is on the bottom of your screen. So have a look at it and think about this channel and all the other Twitch online streamers and online entrepreneurs.
You really do visit the most charming places.
So the first thing we do when we are commencing with patrols is simply we are collecting one of the beacons, right? And we are going to be collecting one of those from here. We do need some of that. This is the beacon.
The cryptarchs are just itching for some materials off the dreadnought. Scratch them behind the ears and I'll bet there'll be a good bounty in it for you.
Hard point glass needs to be collected, which means we need to fight some of the enemies and get some of it. It's good to see other people here in the arena as well, you know, because sometimes you come in as hardly anyone, but tonight we have lots of people playing Destiny, so that's really, really good. I love seeing, you know, the veterans of those big blockbuster AAA games, as we call them, coming in after many years, and it's just wonderful to see that. We want to ensure that the games are played for many years, not just, you know, during the first couple of weeks or the initial 2 or 3 months. So where is the glass? Okay. Oh, he's gone already. Has he left anything in there? Nothing. There's another chap in there. Run. Oh, this is so good to see when he's being completely obliterated. We hate those enemies for certain, and you know, different weapons here are available for the different enemies. So I don't get it. I've not even collected one bit of hard glass. So where am I to get it? There must be some other enemies that we need to neutralize then. What else? Nothing in here. Must be some other enemies rather than them, or else. I just want to see whether perhaps if we went there, we could get some other enemies. Let's see. Maybe not, but you know, we'll find out. Nothing still. Oh well. Oh, there he is. I missed him completely. No, wait a minute. Tell me. Rip the harpoon glass from the hands of any Cabal Lances or Legionnaires. I see. Okay, I've gone the wrong way then. I need to go back then. Bomb spawn. So where are they? Why are they not here? Does anyone know? Forex. They didn't have any rooms. I'm dying rather fast. Very fast. Looks like they disappeared. I didn't succeed. Oh well. There's a chest in there. Forgot about it. Right, we didn't really achieve anything in here. We need to be looking for those Centurions. I want to go elsewhere. I hate those wizards. Maybe we get some of those here. Let's see. Still not dead. Right, we need to get out of there. We need to get out of there. Right, there's nothing in there. All those hidden corners of Dreadnought. No fun, really. Let's see. Worm spore. We need worm spore, definitely. Back to the same old ghouls. Another upgrade for my... Alright, that's good. Arc accumulator. Chance to generate an orb there when destroying the minions. So that's quite good. No, wait a minute. Might be going the wrong way. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's the right way. Let's see where they are. There they are. Here's that. Oh, it's so annoying, you know. I've done all of this and there's no Centurions and I'm not getting to the other guys. And I'm going back to the same thing. Look. No, I don't want to go in there. I want to get out of here. That's not the way out. There. This is the way out. Not there. Yeah. Finally I found it. There. These are the ones I need. Proper war breaking out in there. so many of them. Look. Ridiculously many. Why is he not dying? What is going on? I don't get it. Why is he there? Weird. This is weird. He really should have been long gone. That wizard in there. Ryan's here. Hello Ryan, how are you doing? Good to see you, sir. Long time no see. How is everything? You enjoying your Destiny 2 Forsaken? Are you doing some of the strikes here on Destiny 1? I've seen the other night you were in a team with Matthias. A little while back, I think. Very good to see you. Thank you very much for coming and for watching our channel. For this patrol, don't know what's going on. Ryan says, yeah, Matthias is the man. You've been doing some raids. Alright, fantastic. I'm so glad you guys met through my channel, and nothing better than finding your new teammates, you know, through firefights here. And as you know, Matthias is a true veteran of Destiny. He played more than 2,000 hours. I think it was 2,200 or something like that. So absolutely terrific to be able to team up with him and you know, to do the raids and all the other missions. Very, very glad you guys are doing. I've seen it on my PlayStation a couple of times because, you know, it has that algorithm, and then you know, you can see who's doing what. Yeah, as you've seen, I was doing Apex for 2 weeks. We were doing a bit of promotion for the developer Respawn, and it's been a very stream, and we're back, of course, and we'll carry on. I still have quite a few things to do here with my Titan, and then maybe we'll do Destiny 2 a bit more. We'll do Forsaken and the seasons, you know. I just want to have 3 characters either fully completed or almost fully completed, and we're getting, well, we are there already, in fact. Brian says he's going to be back in a few minutes. No worries, sir, no worries, I'll be here for a little while. Well, you know, I wanted to do a short warm-up, right? And this is turning out to be a lot longer than what I anticipated. I have no idea as to why. Massive big war in there. They're all very strong, lots of weapons, as you can see. You need to really leg it from there. so many of them are coming for some reason. I don't know why. Insane! I don't think I've played a patrol which is as crazy as this. I don't understand why. I don't even see anything because of that. I don't even see anything. It's one big kaboom coming from everywhere. I don't know what's going on in here. Ryan's back. Welcome back, sir. As you can see, this is a patrol. I don't know why it's so hectic and why there's so many enemies attacking me. You know, really weird. I can't see a thing because of those fires. Look at that. So where is he now? Oh, there. Okay. Definitely want that big beast to be gone. Yeah, finally he's gone. I hate him. resupply codes. Any other glass anywhere? They're not particularly visible. Ah, more of those beasts. Mates in there finally, so that's pretty good. But hang on, let's collect the glass. I don't see it as much. Hagian flakes. Worm spore. So we are stocking up on all the bits which are needed. As you know, there's some chests in here as well. Well, there are. For some reason. Witch in there as well. Hagium again. Key of fuel. We don't have any keys like that at the moment. Just annoyed that I wasn't able to collect all of our glass in there. Annoyed that I'm being stuck here on this patrol, when in fact what I do want is carrying on these other two missions. Anymore. A long grind. A lot longer than expected. I just thought it was going to be literally pedestrian. turn out to be something completely different. Lots of good firefights though, I can't complain, but just with no real sense of achievement because I'm, as you could see, just grinding it and
Okay, tower's updated.
okay, so we completed this. So that should be plenty of warming up. And we are going to go well, let me think. I think we were to do something there also in the Dreadnought. Outbound signal, wasn't it? Board the Dreadnought and put an end to a Cabal transmission to the Stars complete mission outbound signal. Okay, so that's true, but this was in a different area. So we are getting some perks. Okay, increased height. Okay, we'll take that. Lift is gonna take us higher. Now we're gonna go back to Dreadnought, but go to a different area. Shield Brothers we completed yesterday. Yeah, outbound signal, and that's patrols. Okay, so it's this one. And automatically it's giving us, what is it? Hard. Alright. So it's giving us a different difficulty. I think we've done this mission with Titan already. I think. Not 100% sure.
On my order, the Dead Orbit fleet is well clear of Saturn. We'll need them to defend the city, if it comes to that. They've picked up a high-gain signal from the Cabal beachhead on the Dreadnought. The message is outward bound. Its target is far outside the solar system. We have to know what they're saying and who they're saying it to.
So we need to be investigating the signal. We need to find out for ourselves really what the score is.
Their commanders are dead. The Cabal here are trying to survive against an implacable foe. Expect heavy resistance.
We need to be searching for that signal. Nuke's back here. He says, had to go, but I'm back. Well, thanks very much for coming back. Just to update you, I was doing this very, very lengthy patrol where I had to collect all those glass bits. It's been completed, and now we are doing another mission, which is called the Outbound Signal. Also in Dreadnought, pretty much the same area, but the tasks are somewhat different to what we had so far. So, there we are. Is Nuke also a Destiny veteran? Are you also a person who sort of played Destiny for quite a while? So where do we need to go from here? Hang on. Oh, excellent. Nuke says, yes, he is. Well, this channel is attracting lots of Destiny veterans, and I didn't even know that, but some of the other guys told me the reason they come to this channel is I'm probably the only regular Destiny streamer. We did have a break for 2 weeks during the last couple of weeks, but otherwise Destiny is being streamed every day, and then I guess the Destiny veterans pick up, you know, on
The signal's coming from the bridge,
coming to Twitch.
but the whole place is on lockdown.
Heavy weapons fire has their defense grid on high alert. Clear out the ship. When things quiet down, the doors should open.
I mean, I've become a Destiny veteran myself now, although I've not played Destiny for several years. But I did spend a lot of time on Destiny since I started streaming on this channel, you know, so I'd say probably more than 400 hours or so, and that will be all streamed through my channel. And tonight's broadcast is the stream number 109, so tomorrow is going to be 110. Nuke's asking whether I'll be playing with some followers. Well, actually, I do that very frequently, and we always play strikes together with our community members. You know, with the story missions, when I played for the first time, I tend to do them by myself because it's all about the story and, you know, following the plot and that. And for the viewers that are here and also on 20 different platforms, because I use Restream for, you know, streaming on different platforms, they kind of like watching the story and getting to know, you know, in a linear fashion on what's going on. But for anything that requires a team effort, that's usually, you know, more difficult missions, strikes, or certain missions on harder difficulty levels, I always bring in my community members. So indeed, you will be able to come in, and, you know, I'll obviously let everyone know whenever we get to that level. I've had very many strikes and many co-op missions on my Warlock and Hunter, but Titan, you know, I was able to increase his levels literally from the word go to the level 40. I had that perk which was doing this, and I had very powerful weapons from the day one on my Titan, and therefore I'm just kind of strolling through the story missions. Otherwise I would obviously require much greater input from my community members as well. And so it's been quite an experience, really. I quite enjoyed playing Titan because the perspective on the entire gameplay was significantly different, as I started on my Titan with very high quality gear and level 40. So, you know, that really makes a very big difference the way you're kind of progressing, because otherwise it's a long grind sometimes. As you know, certain sections, like for instance Prison of Elders, and some of the strikes are very, very difficult. In fact, I did play 2 quite difficult strikes yesterday, and I did have 3 community members joining me. So, you know, it was really good fun. It isn't going to be tonight, but certainly on another day, you know, when we get to the strikes, then obviously I'll invite people. What I usually do is, if I reach in the section where I have to play a strike, then I just ask everyone, and then people usually come in quite quickly. So yesterday I had 2 strikes, and they were difficult. Shield Brothers strike, and what was the other? Shadow Thief Reloaded, I think it was. Oh, two of them. Oh no, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. There were two of them. Boo. Foul. Where is the other big beast? I thought I neutralized him already. Fusion rifle is so powerful, you know. It really does the works. Really rather pleased with himself. Met his rather untimely end. This wizard is dreadful. Oh yeah, I forgot, I'm playing it on the hard difficulty level, so that's why. Just asked myself what's going on, but now I realise what actually is happening. Had he got the Vex Mitoclast? I guess this is one of the weapons, right? I don't have it, no. Not at the moment. Well, not as yet. Difficult. Nick says when you do the Vault of Glass raid, there's a chance of getting it, and if you do, you will not regret it. Well, I can tell you I've not done any raids at all, and I've been waiting for all of my characters to be, you know, fully completed, and then I'll crack on with, you know, the raids, and that's something that I will be doing in the future. We just heard from Ryan a moment ago. that he's been doing raids with Matthias. And Ryan and Matthias are Destiny veteran community members and very, very experienced. Play Destiny for many months and years. Lots of battles under the belt. And just as, just like Ryan said, Matthias and him are doing lots of raids of late, and I did see that, and it's really terrific. And I'm particularly glad to see that some of the community members find the new team members and partners here through the channel, which is really of tremendous value. And I try to help people who are also doing it on Xbox and PC, you know, with Twitter support and Instagram support. And then they can find, you know, some new people to play together with, and that's wonderful. We've had the whole selection of new teams being built here to the channel during the last 6 months, you know. Really, really good. I guess Destiny is a massive, massive big game, and mastering it takes a long while. You know, it requires a lot of knowledge and skill, and I guess it's different to other games because there's no tutorial provided. So I do have to say that quite a few guys from the early days, that they really struggled for about a year and a half up to the point where they kind of learnt everything. And obviously today, after playing it for about 4.5 years, it's much easier. But that's the beauty of such games, you know, it does take a little while. I have to tell you, I didn't really struggle that much because I had a fairly big community established very fast, right at the beginning when I started streaming on this channel. And then everybody was suggesting and helping and, you know, providing the ropes. And I learned very fast. I learned, you know, all the things which were there to be taken board, particularly the way you use inventory, the way you infuse, the way you use certain perks, and you know, everything to do with the basics of the gameplay. So that was really absolutely terrific, and therefore I moved forward rapidly. And principally I would advise everyone who is a multiplayer, you know, kind of gamer, to join such channels or join these communities where you can really find new partners and friends, because you really level up quick, and you know, you get to know things much faster, and you share experiences. Like for instance, we're doing Apex during the last few weeks, and we all experienced on the UK server that we were having very, very poor hit registration ratio, you know, and we noticed that already during the first couple of days, but it was just reconfirmed as we carried on, which was not the case for people who were on very, very fast servers. So, you know, experience shared, a lot less frustration, and some knowledge to be had. Let's play with one team on one day, and one of the team members was very frustrated because he was a very experienced Call of Duty and Battlefield veteran, and he just couldn't get the score. He'd be firing at different characters, and you know, they were not dying whilst, for instance, he'd be killed with one bullet. And I said, well, it's obviously server based. It's just absolutely nothing else to say. There's nothing you can do if your hit registration is delayed. You know, just not gonna, there's nothing you can do. Oh, that's annoying. I don't have. Let's see whether I can hit him with a grenade. Not really. Finally, he's gone. He's a real menace. 2 of those guys in there. What is that? Oh, no special ammunition. Should be some for all these enemies. Because I need some of that special ammunition for that big beast in there. So far I'm not getting it by the looks of it. Down here maybe? No, no. Something else is sitting from there as well. Oh yeah, that's good. I've got some special ammunition, so that should be useful. So where is that bridge? Hang on. Don't have that many bullets in there. That's good. And then we'll finish off that big beast in there as well. He's down there. It's probably gone now.
Defense net is down. Kill everybody in the system thinks it's safe. Stupid computer.
Defense systems are active. Some of the bridge crew may still be alive.
The captain's station should control the signal. Let me at it.
Hold on a minute. I didn't see anything. That's quite hard. And to the bridge. And we should be able to... Now we need to defeat the Taken. Well, that's gonna be difficult. I remember doing this mission before and it was quite difficult. Too quick. Ah. It's just too fast. And I'm too slow. That's the trick. Ryan's here and he says if you ever need help with your first raid or first few raids, I'm always here to help. Absolutely, sir, remember. And I've got you on my list as well. But I'll be doing the raids once I kind of completed my characters, you know, when I got 400 on all three, then I'll be doing the raids. So that's the idea. And thanks very much for helping, and thanks very much for, you know, being here and offering. I think there may be other people watching as well who are interested in doing the raids. As you could see, Nuke 910 was asking about this earlier, so maybe a few of you can also team up for raids. Nuke and Ryan. I got him. I defeated him.
I'll pass the scan from your ghost to the cryptarchy. I have a feeling we want to know as much about this signal as we can. In the meantime, that's a job well done. When you see Arak Jalal, tell him, thanks for the tip.
Collecting some of those bits of loot left by the enemy. And Ryan was saying, yeah, sure, no problem. And he also says, use your heavy machine gun. And I've been using this very powerful fusion rifle, which has been very good. And the fusion rifle's done really well with these big beasts. So I'm really quite happy with the results. And, you know, used it a lot on my Titan compared to the other two characters, Warlock and Hunter, where I wasn't using fusion rifle. But this is a very powerful fusion rifle. It's about, I think, 392 level, so quite good. So let's have a look at what lies ahead. Oh, I see. I need to go and talk to Arak Jalal. Okay, we'll do that. Arak Jalal is based at the tower. We just joined his faction, so we are going to go back there. Ryan says heavy in general is better kills, the boss is quicker depending on the mission. Absolutely. And generally I have been trying to master my skills with hand cannon. This is the reason I've been using it so much, both on my Titan and my Hunter, and I think I'm doing quite well with it. So the hand cannon I've got at the moment is very powerful. But on all of those beasts, I've been using my powerful fusion rifle. And it's worked well. It has. I think this big beast, he had 8 hits, but precise hits of fusion rifle, and he was gone. So, you know, but what I've done in this instance was I wanted to eliminate all the other enemies before hitting on him, because I've done the mission quite a few times, and previously I was trying to really get rid of him first. But it didn't work because I was able to neutralize him once he sort of climbed over. So that was pretty good. I guess there are different tactics for, you know, various beasts and various sections of the game. I agree with you, using heavy weapons on the big bosses is always the best bet. And then once they're literally towards the end of their life, then rocket launcher is quite good for polishing it off. No, nothing here. We'll have Yangrams to Master Rahul. As you could see, tonight, lots of people are playing Destiny 1. I've seen about 20 gamers in there, so that's quite good.
Done.
And we'll quickly do some decoding in here.
Nothing is impenetrable. Hopefully this is close.
Okay, so let's see. What did we get? Anything of interest? Anything of use? 385, 393, none at all. And then, wait a minute, what's this? Okay. This weapon, 385, no. No good at all. Alright, so we'll go to Ragjalal.
Till the next time.
He's just around the corner from us here. Come on, my friend, double it, double it. He's doubling up, as you can see.
Are you ready? We need your support, Guardian.
You've done very well, Guardian. Excellent. This simple act of coordination between the fleet and the tower is the beginning. Good. We will take it. And we will also, let me see, 220 defense. What I want to see is the perks. Spin metal sensor, spin metal extractor, increase discipline. Okay, spin metal sensor and spin metal extractor. Let's see whether this one's got the same. Yeah, so it's identical. Okay, and this one has 3221. Yeah, so done on it. Okay, so that's all done and dusted, and we are going up the ladder with our, but at the moment we'll resort to Sunbreaker, so we'll build all three subclasses as we go along. Okay, so we talked to our Ragjalal. We did get this reward, so you could see, and quickly have a look at the tasks which are there, for us. I think we are going to be doing another mission more or less immediately, but I just want to double check whether there's somebody else down on the lower deck that we still need to talk to. I don't think there is.
I've seen this before.
Right, the Taken Moor is the next one, so that's the Blighted Coven and the Cosmodrome. Okay. Before we do that, we'll just cash our bounties. Hunting the Exalted, defeat 10 Magus Ultras, Strange Conduit of Light, and some reputation. So we got some more reputation there. Then we have quick drops, 30 precision kills. Materials reputation, exploding light, 20 grenade kills, some reputation. So we're going up with our reputation. So let me see, what have we got here? It's all Crucible based. Yeah, we did complete some of those patrols in the Lay of the Land as well, plus we're doing Dreadnought, so that's quite good. Kill any enemies, 1 of 3. Kill them and collect completed, scout an area completed, so yeah, so you can still do that on another night. Variations on a theme. So basically our next mission indeed is the Taken War Earth. Follow rumors of a Taken Coven to the Cosmodrome, complete mission Blighted Coven. So that's the next mission which we are going to be doing. Oh, this is a very good picture. No. Look at that. But we'll go to the other side because we want to be relaxing a bit before entering another battle, right? We want to be gathering our thoughts and thinking about the loved ones. This is why we always come here before entering battles. And indeed, we had completed that. We gathered our thoughts, we got some resilience, we acquired more focus, we thought of people and places close to our heart, and now we're ready for another battle. Blighted Coven. That's the next mission, and we are proceeding. That's going to be in a Cosmodrome. Planet Earth, the old Russia. As you all know, of course. Quite glad to see that we had some of our Destiny veterans coming in here tonight. Also glad to see that new members are always joining our community, and thank you very much for that. Always great to see new members. Growing slowly but surely, as one would say in England. Melting point. Burn away your target's defenses while burning targets are weakened. And what's this? Sunstrike. Okay, burn them. Why not? Forge Master. Throw more hammers, and hammers cause bigger explosions. Of course, we'll do that. We'll do everything that we can. Everything that's given to us as God's given gifts. We said the next mission was there, so that will be, yeah, that's right, so it's patrolling, and that's that. And we are playing it on the hard difficulty level, hard. So as you can see, we are progressing to the levels where in fact there's no need to be doing any more on the easier levels, but just all focused on yellow, which is hard. Therefore it is more fun, takes a bit more time, but still always enjoyable, even if you're revisiting. Just noticed that my temperature, the temperature outside dropped.
Oryx is dead. Nice work on that. But the Taken are all wormed down into the cracks of the Cosmodrome. We think a coven of wizards is running the show over there. You're going to shut them down.
Cade, I'm having trouble getting a bead on those wizards.
Thought you might. My scouts have marked blights all over the Cosmo. They're pumping out darkness like a spigot. Cut off the flow, Guardian. Cleanse the place, and you should be able to find the wizards.
So we are to find those wizards, and we shall say, of course, sir, we are going to be finding the wizards. We'll destroy the enemy. Fear God, honor the king, over and out. This is actually very difficult. I remember doing it a few times. In fact, I want to change the grenade, if I can. The grenade I really need needs to be a lot more mighty than that. many of them in there. Need more ammunition. The idea is to collect everything that the enemy left behind, you know, as much as possible, and then you can rake up for everything afterwards.
That did it. Wizards are marked and locked. Next.
There. All done. So we need to be still clearing out the taken in there by the looks of it. But let's see where. Taken everywhere. Oh yeah, I remember these are the wizards in there. My ammunition for this as well, look at that. Need my ammunition for my lovely fusion rifle that's doing the job. Because otherwise I'll be fried and no ammunition in here, none at all. Well, that's just too bad. I need more ammunition for my fusion rifle. It's just as simple as that.
The darkness. It's smothering. We've got wizards.
From all across the Cosmo, Guardian. Taking, abandoning the fight, or getting sucked back to who knows where. This one goes in the win book. Come on back now.
Hello Matthias, how are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. I'll be on probably about 30 minutes or so. I'll be cutting off at 11:30, maybe just after 11:30. So still maybe a bit of admin. And as you know, I have discontinued with the late night streams. Well, thanks very much for joining us. In fact, Ryan was here early on, and he said how, two of you were able to team up for raids, and you were doing some raids together and some matches. And I did see that on my PlayStation as well. So I was very glad to see that, you were able to team up and do some bits together in Destiny. It was wonderful. But with Matthias, I will be doing certain missions. We were talking about doing a couple of things together, so we'll schedule that at some point this week, and we'll do it together. There's the mission where I have to be unlocking the code. I've not done that yet. And then a few other ones as well, which we were discussing. At the moment, I'm just focused on finishing off the story missions on my Titan. So I want all 3 characters to have completed, the story missions. I still have quite a lot to do with Titan, as you could see, and sort of progressing, bit by bit. Well, the thing is, I've had a couple of weeks with late night streams, which stretch until very late, UK time, and I can't allow for that to carry on. It was okay for the promotional purposes and that, but generally I have to be adhering to earlier broadcasts in a day, just to do with the routine and everything else that I do. And therefore, my sort of cut-off hour generally will be around 11 o'clock, 11:30 UK time, generally. Sometimes even earlier than that, depending on the schedule. Because the late nights are very heavily taxing on me when it comes to the way my day is organized, and I'm unable to do that. I can do it for very little while, or for like a one-off, but not as a standard practice. So let's see what we've got here. Very quickly, look at the quests. We need to talk to Cade. So basically, oh yeah, we've got also another bounty completed, which is very good. So we are going back to the tower, and we'll talk to Cade, cash our bounties, and then probably end the broadcast for tonight. It's been great fun. Completed 2 lengthy missions. We've done 1 patrol, which was very lengthy, very hard and very arduous. Probably the hardest patrol I've done altogether on all 3 characters. And now we are doing a bit of admin at the end. So just coming back to everyone watching on Twitch and all other platforms, thank you all for your support. As you can see, we do have, well, I have a new message down on the bottom of the screen, just telling you that any form of donations received, they'll be going to my new games fund. We've had Anthem donors campaign, which was successful. It generated some funds for Anthem streams, and from now on we'll be running a permanent games fund campaign, which is going to be obviously done through community member donations, which is basically direct contributions for anything that I will be purchasing in order to stream. And that means sometimes buying some older games which are offered on discount and streaming them, and I think at most times will be brand new games which are to be streamed in the future. As you know, the brand new games when you pre-order are very expensive, and the idea is to be able to focus on those that are likely to be most popular with our community members, or the online community altogether. So that's the idea. And also, as you know, anyone who's using bits and cheers and does anything through my channel, such as purchasing games, is then contributing financially to this channel, and is supporting also all the other online entrepreneurs, people who are doing streams online. Because the way it works on Twitch is the revenue which is generated through bits and cheers is shared, so it isn't just for the member who is streaming, but it's for everyone else as well. So it's a very, very good way of spreading out the revenue and supporting the online entrepreneur community. TV Dark Zone is here. Hello, how are you doing? Thanks very much for joining us and welcome to our channel. Welcome to our Destiny community. Hope you're enjoying the firefights and everything you see. Good to have you here tonight.
Stop now.
We are coming slowly to the end of our broadcast for tonight, but we'll carry on with our Destiny world and adventures
military base
tomorrow. And I didn't hear what Master Rahul said now, because I was talking to one of our community members. Never mind. Yeah, I was just saying that we are going to be continuing with our Destiny world tomorrow again, as always.
Make the most of it.
Indeed I shall, sir.
I should get back to my studies.
That wager, I think, is another hand cannon, if I'm not mistaken. Rocket launcher. I was wrong. Dark Zone is asking, why don't you stream Destiny 2? Well, I do stream Destiny 2, but I've not been streaming it currently. We've had lots of streams on Destiny 2. We completed all story missions on my Warlock. Just a couple of, well, a few adventures left in there on him, but then we are going to be building Hunter and Titan in Destiny 2 as well. So once I complete all 3 characters in Destiny 1, which is going to be level 40, power level 400, then we are migrating to Destiny 2. And that's the way it's going to be. So on Destiny 1 we'll do raids and strikes, and on Destiny 2 we'll do everything. So you probably were not with us, you know, a few months back when Destiny 2 was being streamed. It was streamed after the Forsaken was released, and I completed the story missions on Destiny 2 with 1 character. And as I said, there are a few adventures left in there as well. The Destiny 2 streams will resume. Presently they're obviously not appearing on my channel, but they will be back. Generally we've had, at the time, Destiny 1 streams early in the day, Destiny 2 streams later in the day. That's the way it worked. But I thought it wasn't really working out too well, really, as far as my system was concerned. And therefore I just focused on 1 game rather than 2 of those. And there are many reasons for that. One of the main reasons was that Forsaken at the time was launched, and then in December also the seasons were launched, and it was somewhat digressing from the aim that we have here. So we are back to Cade.
Nice shooting, Guardian. Remember, at the end of the day, bullets are the answer to every question.
Now we just need to do some mop-up. It will be good to work with you. So let's see whether he's going to give us another mission.
Now, you just need to do some mop-up. It'll be good to work with you.
Yeah, it does. It does say that we need to be defeating some taken champions. So basically, we are not going to be doing that tonight. We are to do that tomorrow when we come back. And I just want to very quickly see what the task is. So I need to be defeating taken champions at the Divide, Skywatch and Rocket Yard. In fact, I was playing this on my Hunter with one of our community members from Australia, Tonzak, and we very successfully completed all of those. We had lots of fun, and this is a section that we'll be doing with other community members. We'll do it as a 3-piece, and I'll invite some of our Destiny veterans to come in, because they'll know exactly where we need to go in order to get these guys. Otherwise I'll be just literally, you know, walking around and doing everything that does not need to be done. And then we are going to be looking at those champions in there to be neutralized. So that's good. We've got this bounty that's taken hunting completed, and we are getting some reputation for that. And in fact what we can do here is also have a look at Zavala and Ikora, because they also want to talk to us. We'll see what they want. We got another perk in here, Flame Seeker. Your Hammer of Soul will alter its flight path to seek out your enemies. Okay, so we enable that. What's this one? Oh yeah, I'll just change that because the other grenade is better. And let's see what Zavala has to say.
I value your counsel.
High value targets. Complete patrols to access a patrol for high value targets. Eliminate a high value target at each destination. Guardian, we've chosen these targets for maximum disruption of enemy ranks. Find them and ensure they no longer trouble the tower. So this is
always an honor.
A mission that we will do on another day.
Yeah, we're gonna put a hunter there.
And I want to see what Ikora also has here for us.
Oryx is dead, Guardian. But the universe, in its beautiful complexity, spins on.
So taking more Venus is investigate a signal coming from the Vault of Glass. Complete mission. Paradox. Oryx is dead, Guardian, but the universe, in its beautiful complexity, spins on. We have received a message from the most unlikely of places, the Vault of Glass. So that's another one that we are going to do. And then also some strikes. We're not doing that tonight.
We're still here.
And I prefer to introduce a mission at the beginning of the stream rather than leave one open at the end. But we know what they want, so we can always come back to them.
The Taken King defeated, but not Crota. Oryx. What will it be next?
So that's another one, which is enter the Sunless Cell and eliminate Alak-Hul, the Dark Blade. Complete strike, Sunless Cell. So that's another strike. We are not doing that tonight. And she also wants us to find calcified fragments. I found one of them, but we need to find, and obviously the rest of them. Speak to Lord Shax as well. So we'll leave all of that.
Oryx yet lives.
Move him up the lobby.
So I think we've probably talked to everyone here.
Oryx. Scanning.
We don't have to go back there. And as you could see, we've come to the end of our broadcast for tonight. We'll have a look. We'll enjoy the beautiful view of this wonderful sunset. Isn't this wonderful? In fact, I enjoyed a similar sunset in my local area yesterday. It was terrific. We had fantastic weather in my local area during the last 3 days. Proper spring. The hottest February ever recorded in the United Kingdom. 20 degrees today in London. And beautiful clear skies and no clouds and wonderful, wonderful sunsets on every single day. I absolutely love them and enjoy them. Took a few photographs of them as well. And in the nature reserve near where I live, it was, very, very pleasurable to be there when you had such good weather and such beautiful sights. Right, so thanks very much for coming. Thank you for enjoying and watching. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed our firefights. We had quite a few of those today. The 2 missions I completed were played on hard difficulty level. They were quite difficult, and there were lots of enemies. And also the patrol I've done was on hard difficulty level for some reason. It was a bit surprising. And so I really wrestled with it for quite a while. In fact, the patrol appeared to be even more difficult than those 2 missions. So we had lots of fun, lots of firefights. Very, very good community spirit. Lots of people are joining us every night, and I'm very, very grateful for that. A very vibrant, very alert, very engaging Destiny community. And I'd like to ask all of our Destiny veterans whether they migrated to Anthem, whether they are doing Anthem at the moment. And as you know, I want to do Anthem as well as from the 22nd, but because of all the technical difficulties which have been widespread, I'm waiting for them to be resolved because they interfere with the regular broadcasting of the game, and they are therefore a hindrance to what we are attempting to do here, and that is basically providing interesting entertainment to all the beginners and veterans alike. This is not a competitive channel. Whilst doing Apex Legends, I had a few people who were throwing in some unpleasant comments, which were directed at myself personally and also some of the other gamers, and we have zero tolerance for that sort of behavior. So I just want to stress that all of it is really focused on entertainment, learning and sharing. When doing something competitively, we are going to be pronouncing that separately, and it's going to be done in a different format. this channel is all about entertainment, fun, enjoyment of video gaming. And as you know, some of the other ventures out there are catering for the competitive spirit. People can join various competitions, join very competitive teams, and therefore the focus is on something completely different. You know, similar to when you go out and play football at your local playground, or if you are playing for a national team wanting to win the World Cup. Well, that's obviously self-explanatory. And Matthias is saying, I'm giving it time until they fix the stuff as well. Well, that's right. That's right. That's the best way forward. Because you would have seen the demos which I was streaming in here, and they were a true nightmare on the technical front. In fact, there were some glitches on the demos which were streaming specific, and they were much worse than what people were experiencing during the ordinary multiplayer gameplay, which was non-stream. And I do not want to have that during my streaming hours, because I had a lot of headache by doing this, you know, once doing those 2 demos. And the trouble is that they always require the game to be restarted, and every single time you restart the game, you are basically ending the broadcast. So from what would be otherwise 3 broadcasts, you end up with 35, and it's very taxing on the viewer, and of course on the gamer, and you know, it's interfering with the actual pleasure of exploring the game for the first time. And I think when we are doing the game for the umpteenth time, then obviously it's a different sort of experience. But when you're doing it for the first time, it really has to be plain sailing, because we want to be enjoying every single bit. We want to be learning about the story, we want to be learning skills. And Anthem, as you know, does have a lot of learning there in terms of how the javelin suits are used, and some of it is not easy. So, and also the other thing with Anthem is it is exclusively a multiplayer game. Although you can play it as a single player, you're not going to be getting either the same story missions or the same loot or anything compared to the guys doing it in those teams of 4. So it's imperative that everyone does it in a team of 4. You know, so we are probably going to be teaming up here with various people once we start streaming, because we want to really do it the best way, i.e. the way the BioWare team had advised us to. And, you know, I said the other night in my broadcast that there were some reviewers who were not following the developer, and they were trying out solo missions, and then they complained there was lack of content. Well, there won't be content if if the developer said you have to be doing it on harder difficulty levels, and also in a team of 4, in order to be accessing the events and everything else that comes together with it. So therefore it can feel a bit slim, right? And it's very wise to be waiting, you know. I think for the games that are glitchy, I don't know whether you would have heard some of my comments earlier today and also in a week. As you know, we've been doing Apex Legends, which is a wonderful battle royale game, the new game coming from Respawn, for a couple of weeks. And in the UK, we had detected that our servers are much slower than some of the servers in the US and around the world, which basically resulted in very poor hit registration, you know. And our hits were not registering properly, meaning that we would fire the whole magazine into the enemy, or use sniper, which is the top sniper on the enemy from distance, and no effect at all, or hardly any. Whilst the enemy would use the same weapon on us, and we'd be dead like after 1 or 2 bullets. So, you know, these kinds of glitches are really troubling, and they interfere with the gameplay. Although on the surface you don't realize that this is what's happening. You might think, well, my skill's not good enough or something. But actually, we had explored that precisely with some of the veterans, and people did notice that sometimes when they played against certain guys, 2 or 3 shots would do the enemy. At other times, you know, 2 or 3 magazines wouldn't do. And they couldn't work out why. The answer was simple. It's a server-based problem, which was reported through Reddit. And Respawn didn't own up to it. They didn't say that anything was up on that front, but I certainly could say, you know, I'm not a top shooter in video gaming, and I've had some people who really are. They really are, you know, the top shooters in Battlefield and PUBG, and they said straight away something's not right in here. When they learn how to use, you know, level 4 weapons with level 4 add-ons, they could see straight away that there was a problem with hit registration. So, you know, eventually these glitches are resolved. It happens to the vast majority of the new games. In fact, there was a very good article on Games Radar yesterday, and they talked about, well, they talked with 4 reps from, you know, 4 different developers, and they were explaining as to why these things are persisting every single time the big games are being released, AAA games. And they said, well, I'm not sure, I mean, I'm not really well versed on, you know, the technical front, but they said it was not to do with them not buying or hiring many enough servers for the gameplay. It was more to do with the type of behavior that the gamers were displaying when starting out, and also the sheer volume of gamers coming in at the same time, regardless of the servers which are there. They said that sometimes this is causing congestion, and people come in with different speeds and, you know, for different systems. And they said, well, you can't really test it or find out what was, you know, the problems might be before you actually crack on with the launch. And so it's an interesting article. I actually advise everyone to read it. Just go to Games Radar and you know, access the article, which is focused on technical problems and new releases. And it's been highlighted, I think, yesterday. So it's definitely worth a read. It's a really good read as well. And also advise everyone to be reading Games Radar, you know, Game Informer, GameSpot, IGN, and all the other online magazines. They have a wealth of information related to video gaming, and many times they have some very interesting solutions and tips. Some of them are perhaps a bit developer biased, but nevertheless, I thought that the icy reviews which were coming out of very many of them related to Anthem were surprisingly uncanny. I really didn't expect all the magazines to be so anti-Anthem, but I did feel the aura of that really prior to its release, because such views and expectations were already voiced after the E3 presentations. I find Anthem to be extraordinary. I think it's a wonderful game, and obviously, like any other game, we'll have to give it time to get those technical glitches resolved, and indeed we have to allow time for everything to be growing, because they will have their own seasons, they will have new content, they will have new characters introduced, there'll be new relationships, there'll be lots of new things happening. They want that game to be, you know, the first one created by the studio where you have the same kind of longevity which is currently introduced by Bungie and Destiny 2 Forsaken. You know, a world which is existing, living, proceeding, developing, breathing, and carrying on over a long period of time. So that's the idea, and I'm very, very curious to see. In fact, Matthias, I can tell you, our good friend Captain Jack, a very dedicated Destiny veteran and our community member, he did come in a few days ago, I think it was on a weekend, and he did say that after, I think, 6 months of grinding Destiny 2 Forsaken, for the first time he engaged with another game, and it was Anthem. And he also said he didn't want to be watching other demos or doing anything during the weekends, because he wants to, you know, explore the game from the word go by himself, find out all the ins and outs without any spoilers. And he did say there were some technical glitches, but he loved the game. He said it was a perfect respite from the long haul of, you know, Destiny 2 Forsaken missions and doing the seasons, as well as a game which is very complementary. He said he did have this element of open world which is similar to Destiny, but the gameplay and particularly the co-op with 3 other guys was tremendous, and he said he really enjoyed it. So, you know, definitely the news from one of our very dedicated channel viewers and Destiny veterans, and indeed the views which are you know, linked to the actual experience of gameplay of Anthem. So I think very likely to be the game that we all sci-fi video gaming fans will admire, adore, and love for many years to come. It doesn't matter if one doesn't play it on the first day, you know. I think maybe with some of the shooters, some competitive games makes a difference, but for me, I like to kind of do away with technical glitches, because on some of the games they're very considerable. I think Matthias will know that full well, as I remember he played Fallout 76 from the word go, and there were quite a few glitches. Although the game was very enjoyable, but the glitches were interfering. and then I guess they eased off after a couple of weeks or so, and I think that's definitely the way forward. So, you know, and also don't forget, the world of video gaming is very vibrant and evolving and growing, and I'm astonished by the sheer number of the games out there. As you know, I'm an avid reader of many lists that come in through Xbox and PlayStation. Always double check on the bargains and new special offers and the new games added to, you know, their roster in stores. And it's extraordinary. PlayStation probably are beating Microsoft to it. I mean, obviously I spend a bit more time, certainly in the recent months, on PlayStation Store than I would on Microsoft Store. But I find that lots of brilliant games are offered on very, very low prices, you know, massively discounted prices, and I got very many. I've not been streaming them yet, but I will do. As I told you recently, I bought the top edition of Mass Effect Andromeda, which is a Recruiter Pack Platinum, and then Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year edition, which, you know, both games are sort of roughly about £35–40. I think Andromeda even more expensive than that, and I got them for, I think it was £14 altogether, so it was £6–7 each. I bought a selection also last week, and it came to £20, and I bought 4 games. I'm trying to think what they were. Also, I think it was The Evil Within was one of them, and then I had what was it? Well, I'll have to look it up. But in any case, there were 4 top games and offered on a price of, you know, oh yeah, I know, it was Wolfenstein, and it was 2 of those, The New Order and the one which is a prequel. And, you know, generally those games cost you like 25. So I'm astonished by the sheer number of games out there, and also the fact that they're offered periodically on such low prices. So really an advice to everyone, if you are an avid PlayStation 4 fan and a gamer, every single Tuesday have a look at what comes in as new, and also keep an eye on postings which they do on their Twitter, because sometimes they'll throw in some discounts, like last weekend, out of the blue, some discounts on Blockbusters, and, you know, they were considerable. The games are offered on a lot less than what you would otherwise expect. So definitely worth checking out. And coming back to my earlier point, it's a very competitive market, and because the games produced generally are fairly lengthy, they become, you know, you do have this issue of time factor. What games you're going to play first, particularly if you're a streamer? What games will you select for your streams? And, you know, what interest is this going to generate? And also we have services like PS Now and Game Pass on Xbox, and, you know, we can access those games with these, a bit like with Netflix. You just click on the button and you're accessing Metro and Red Dead Redemption and Fallout and Uncharted and God of War, and you name it, and that's terrific, you know. So I guess because we have such easy access, then we become a bit more impatient when it comes to new releases, and I just ask everyone to be a bit more patient. I think of Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout Las Vegas, you know, and wonderful games. Not everything worked out brilliantly from the word go. I remember when Mass Effect came in first, and lots of problems with frames dropping, it was very choppy, the game was crashing, there were all sorts of problems, but eventually they were resolved. And then, you know, the pleasure of gaming was as it should be. I'm really enjoying this view. I think it's terrific. We came here as the sunset was just setting in, and this is a bit of an early nightfall, which just looks wonderful. The world we are protecting there as guardians before us, and, you know, it's just, I love that experience of immersion. I'm a great fan of IMAX cinemas, you know. I watch lots of big AAA blockbusters, which included also like Alien trilogy and lots of the recent ones. Watch the Nolan trilogy of Batman, all the Star Wars flicks of recent years, now everything in IMAX. And IMAX is a very, very immersive type of screen. The picture quality is second to none, and, you know, the sound quality is incredible. We've got subwoofers at the back as well. So if anybody likes the experience of immersion, then IMAX is definitely your best bet when you see some of the big blockbusters coming out. If you're, you know, a lover of graphic novels on the big screen, then obviously you will be spoiled for choice with everything, particularly from the US graphic novels presently being placed on the big screen. So you could see yesterday Black Panther, which is obviously one of those Marvel graphic novels, comic strips, did get some Oscars, and obviously well celebrated film with a lot of quality on the political front as well. So although it is giving us on the outer frame the image of the usual kind of Marvel superhero graphic novel, it does talk about lots of different issues throughout its structure, its storytelling, and it is a very, very formidable piece of filmmaking, I have to say. Very few films are able to combine the commercial aspects with the message which that film is obviously giving to the world. So no wonder that yesterday they were rewarded with, you know, some of the biggest prizes in the film industry as well. Alright, so we've come to the end of our broadcast for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed everything you've seen, you've heard. I'm very grateful to our new community members. We had several joining us tonight. Thank you for coming and for joining us. Thank you for following us on Twitch and on Twitter and on Instagram. And we will resume with our Destiny world tomorrow. And we are going to be playing all the missions which are allocated and ones that are still to follow from Zavala, Ikora and Eris. On that note, I wish you all a very, very good night.